Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the weekly game plan. I hope you guys are all doing well. My name is Richard AJ, and I'm the head trader here at Trading Rich. So our website is tradingrich.com. I'm excited to present what the game plan is for this week. Last week was a very interesting week. It started off quite strange. All the brokers were acting up on Monday, and the softwares that we were using, everything was like behaving weird, but we were able to get it done and trade accordingly. So if you're joining us for the first time, put one in the chat if you're joining us for the first time, and also let us know where you are tuning in from today, which city, which country you're tuning in from today, so that we can say hi to you. Okay, so wait a bit for a few folks to join, and then we'll get started with the game plan. So put in the chat, let me know if this is your first time joining us, and also let me know where you're tuning in from, which city are you tuning in from, which country are you tuning in from. All right, so if you're joining us for the first time, please put one in the chat so that we know that you're joining us for the first time, and let us know which city you are tuning in from. All right, so I have ELI from Ottawa. What about the rest? Which city are you guys tuning in from? I just want to get a sense of where folks are piping in from, and also if this is your first time, please put one in the chat. Okay, so let's get started right away. We have a lot to cover tonight, and so far we see the futures market is green, meaning that traders and investors are looking forward to a green start to the week. So we have the S&P 500. S&P 500 is up. The Nasdaq is, I think, it's going down. The both of them are going down. Let's check out the futures chart here. Let me look at how it looks like. What is the ES futures is ES futures trading at 6,700. It was green initially, but it's coming down red. But it's just the early futures market trading. We shall see how it turns out tomorrow morning. Okay. All right, so let's get started right away. So last week, I'll just start with what happened last week, and then we'll pivot to the game plan for this week, and we shall figure out. So basically, what happened last week was that last week, on Friday, Friday October on Friday October 3rd, we got a big market sell-off that caused the market to sell due to tariff threats from President Trump to China based on so what happened was China was according to the Trump administration, China, they had some kind of trade deal with China, but all of a sudden China was starting to limit exports of rare earth materials. They put some kind of export restriction on them, and that was not part of the deal. And then President Trump got mad and went on Truth Social and started posting and tweeting about those things, like, hey, that was not part of the deal. And he even threatened to not meet President Xi, right? And then when the market closed on that day, what happened was that the U.S. administration imposed 100% tariffs on China, which caused the market to sell off further. Then during the weekend of October 4th and 5th, the president went back on his threats and said, okay, China is going to be fine. Everything is going to be okay with China, and that all is going to be well. They are going to find a solution to it. He thinks that President Xi will do the right thing and honor the deal and have the deal. But the meeting with President Xi is still on, and he's still planning to meet him sometime in the year. Then fast forward. So on that weekend, everything was fine. So it caused the futures market to gap up green. And then on Tuesday, he came out and said China is refusing to buy refusing to buy cooking oil from cooking oil or something like that, soya bean and stuff like that from the US, and that also caused the market to sell. The market was rallied raw on Monday, but on Tuesday it sold up because of that. And then Wednesday, the market was trying to recover there. I'll show you what happened. I'll show you here on SPY. So if you look at SPY here, you can see that. So this was the Friday. This was the Friday, October 10. The market sold off. And on the Tuesday, the president walked back his threats and removed those tariffs. And the market gapped up. And Tuesday, the market went up, but towards the close, it pulled back. So we've seen that the market has struggled to break above this moving averages congestion. And then on Wednesday, the market was rallying, everything was fine. And there was another tweet again from the president, and it caused the market to sell. Then Thursday, the market also sold. On Friday, at pre-market, during the futures trading session, the market was red, was very red, right? It was trading somewhere here. And then it looks like the president's billionaire friends contacted him, and he had to tweet and say, hey, I'm going to be meeting President Xi in 2 weeks' time. That means that he's going to be meeting President Xi, going to China sometime this month, before the end of the month. Then all of a sudden, the SPY was down by, I believe it was 6 points, which is equivalent to 60 points on the S&P 500. And then all of a sudden, we moved from deep red to green. So that's how this happened, right? You got this candle moving up, and then all of a sudden, the market turned green on that day because of that statement. So right now, it looks like the China situation has cooled off. And now the main thing now is that for the president to meet President Xi in China. And then I believe that once they meet, there's going to be a deal, because I don't think President Trump will just go all the way to China and not have a deal there. So I believe that a deal is in the works, and everything is going to be fine. And once he goes to China, by the time he comes back, a deal would have been struck, because the China deal is the big deal, right? I mean, all the other countries, it's good to have deals with them, but China is the second largest economy in the world. And once the trade deal is done with them, it's going to be like a big deal of a thing, right? So So they're still in negotiation. It's not done yet, but so far so good. Okay, so that was the situation. So the market was like it was a news-driven week, more or less. Like in summary, it was a news-driven week, right? But crypto struggled to rally, even though there were like some kind of positive stuff going on, but crypto struggled to rally. So we are going to go through Bitcoin chart very soon. Okay, so this week, what are we looking at? So this week we are looking at earnings, right? So we are going to start getting the mega cap earnings, starting with Netflix. Netflix always starts the tech and mega cap earnings, and then that's going to be followed by Tesla. So the earnings is going to be, let's see here. So we are going to get the earnings for this week. So this week, the most anticipated earnings are these ones. These are the most important earnings. These ones. We have Coca-Cola. So these ones are going to be this Monday. Then Tuesday, the most important one that I'm going to be looking at is Netflix, because Netflix is one of the mega cap stocks, and everybody will be watching Netflix to see how Netflix deliver. To see if Elon Musk's threat for people to unsubscribe from Netflix has really affected them, or everything is okay. And then on Wednesday, we are going to get earnings from Tesla. I think between the two, I think Tesla might, they might say something about the robotaxi test and pilot program and see how it's going. And also they launch a low cost Tesla vehicle. So those ones, they are going to have some data on that. And I believe that based on that, depending on what they say, when it comes to earnings, all what that matters is guidance, right? Sometimes the company can come up with like bad earnings, as in they didn't meet the targets set by Wall Street. However, the guidance is good. So guidance is what they are going to do in the next quarter. If they paint a picture of a good guidance, then we are going to see a rally. The same thing applies to Netflix, right? So we shall see how that plays out. Otherwise, we have Intel. Intel is also reporting on Thursday. And then, apart from that, these are the three key ones I'm looking at. IBM too, we can look at that as well, because IBM is also a big company, and maybe they can say something to do with AI. If they say something to do with AI, it might just cause the stock to go up as well. So my main watch is going to be Netflix and Tesla. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the economic catalyst, right? How that is working out, to see how what's happening, like what economic data is coming up this week. Because we are still in a government shutdown, we might not get the most important data, which is initial jobless claims. Okay, so this Monday we are going to get U.S. economic indicators. Yeah, this might move the market in one direction or the other. Then this other one, there's Fed governor speak. I mean, this is not going to make a difference, because if it's power, then it's going to move the market. But these other Fed members, it's not really going to do much. This one here on Thursday is an important data, but because of the government shutdown, the Bureau of Labor Statistics are not open. They are closed, so they cannot report this. So this is going to be the third week in a row where we are not getting any initial jobless claims. And then on Friday, we are going to get CPI. That one is going to be reported. So CPI is something that the market will be watching, and that's going to move the market in one direction or the other. So right now, the median forecast for CPI is 3.1. That's going to be the median forecast for CPI is 3.1%, and the previous one was 2.9. So if we get a number that is lower than this, like comes in like 2.9 or 2.8, something of that sort, or even 3.0, that's good for the market. It's going to cause the market to rally, right? But if this number comes in like hot, higher than expected, then the market will start worrying, and then it might cause the market to sell. But that's going to be all the way on Friday. So we shall see how that plays out at the end of the week. Okay, so now that we've gone through all these key catalysts for the week, let's look at how the market is setting up for next week and what my game plan is and what I'm looking at. So first off, we are going to start with the S&P 500. That is the SPY. So over here, you can clearly see that we have. So this is the SPY. Okay, this is the S&P 500 ETF. So with SPY, what we can see here is that we have. I'm still watching this trend line here. This trend line from April. No, it's from May. This underbelly trend line, we finally broke above it, and now we are trading here. So this week, all what I'm looking for is that we need price to trade above the 20 SMA on the daily. The bulls need to make sure they are trading above the 20 SMA to be able to get the momentum to come up here and get back to new all-time highs. I don't think we are going to get there anytime soon, until I think they are going to wait for the earnings to come out, like maybe Netflix. If Netflix beats on Tuesday, it's going to send the market up, and then on Wednesday Tesla comes and they beat, then we can go and then crack new all-time highs. But right now, the way the chart is set up is anybody's game. It's not done yet, right? It's anybody's game. So if you look at it from this standpoint here, let me go to a fresh chart here. So if you look at this, what I'm seeing here is that I'm still seeing what looks like a head and shoulders pattern. It's not been negated yet. Okay, so what needs to happen is that price needs to come and break above 670, right? If price is able to break above 670, then we are going to invalidate this possible head and shoulders. However, if price is unable to go there and it still consolidates and stuff, once we get one bad news, or maybe CPI, or maybe one of the earnings does not work out, we are going to get a sell to the downside. So here, this is the level. This is the line in the sun for the bulls, right? Line in the sun for the bulls. So this 651, the bulls must not lose ground to the bears at this level. So if price comes all the way here and breaks below 651, that means that the bulls are in trouble. Okay, and also from the weekly time frame, what is what I'm looking at? We have seen that price has always traded above this cyan color or teal blue line, 9 EMA on the weekly, and as long as this 9 EMA, as long as price, the weekly candle does not close below this 9 EMA on the weekly, the bulls have a fighting chance to push things back to all-time highs, right? So that is my line in the sun, right? But I've given it some room to this area 651 in case price comes there and the bulls lose steam, then it's over. Okay, so that's the thing. So far the bulls have done a good job by holding the bears, holding them to this area and not losing ground to this level. We shall see how things play out from now onwards. But this head and shoulders is still active until price breaks above 670. Okay. All right. So let me go back to the other one with this one here. Where is it here? This one. So we are currently at this area here. We are currently here, and we are trading above this, and we have these trend lines, some trend lines coming from all the way from October 2023. So what I see here is that even if price comes and breaks up, when it gets here, it's going to bump its head into this and struggle. So we shall see how that plays out in the days and weeks ahead here. But what I'm seeing is that, so it's two things. The bulls need to find a way to crack or go above 670. If they fail, we are going to go down, right? Yeah. And then once we come down, this level is going to be the line in the sun. This 651 is going to be the line in the sun. If they're able to hold them at bay, then they can push things up. But I think that based on how things are going, I believe we are going to go higher this week, anticipating that the earnings is going to be good, and then we carry on from there. So over here, I'm seeing what a mini trend line here. So this mini trend line is going to be critical. If the bulls are able to crack above this mini trend line, we are going to push up and break out and go to 670, and then from there we can possibly come up and see if we can touch the previous all-time highs, right? But for now, it's game set match. It's a battle between the bears and the bulls. We shall see who wins, right? So far, the bulls are in control. They have the ball. They are in control now. Okay. All right. So QQQ. Let's look at QQQ. So QQQ is also, in terms of comparing the two, QQQ is the stronger one. Comparing the two, QQQ is the stronger one, because if you look at QQQ here, when the sell-off happened, it did not even come to the 50, right? It didn't even come to the 50. And if you look at the weekly, QQQ as well has been holding this teal blue line or CN colored line. It has been holding it for the longest time, and it didn't even come close to it to touch it, okay? So that is my line in the sun for the bulls, right? If they lose this teal blue line, then we are going to come down here. The bears are going to push them down to come down here. But with earnings coming, I believe the earnings are going to be good. I think the companies are going to report, especially the mega tech sector, unless they disappoint. I think they are going to come in good, and that's going to cause the market to go up, barring any kind of unfortunate situation, right? So that's what I'm looking at when it comes to these stickers. Okay, so here the bulls, if you look at QQQ, so QQQ has held this level. So this level here is a critical level for QQQ or the Nasdaq, right? If we break below 589, right, 589.50, then it's going to come to the 50, and then that's where the battle is going to be won and lost, right? So if the bulls are able to hold this area, then we are going to push up. So far, if you look at all the SPY and QQQ, you can see that SPY is trading above what? The 20 and all the moving averages. If you go back to SPY, see SPY is at the 20, right? But QQQ is currently above the moving averages. So with that in mind, QQQ, in terms of the bullish run, QQQ is the leader, right? Because that's where all the AI stocks are. They have been the one moving the market. So it's the one leading. However, when you look left, you are going to see that we are not out of the woods yet, right? Because over here, this head and shoulders pattern is can still work. It's still in play, right? But we need a candle that closes at least above this 608, right? We need a candle that closes above this to just invalidate that head and shoulders, possible head and shoulders pattern forming, and then we can push to new all-time highs. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. So I believe that if the earnings for Tesla and Nvidia is good, Tesla and Netflix is good, sorry, we are going to we can move to this 608 and then make new all-time highs, possibly. Okay, so this is still valid. We shall see how that plays out in the days and weeks ahead here. But so far, the QQQ is leading when it comes to the bullish side of things. QQQ is the leader. Okay, so next one I'm going to look at is the DIA. The DIA. So the DIA is the ETF that tracks the Dow. So with DIA, DIA has a very interesting chart because in terms of bearishness, DIA is my leading indicator. And then when it's bullishness, QQQ is my leading indicator, right? So if you look at this closely, the DIA could not go past it could not go past this, it could not go up. So what it did was that it just like came here to the moving averages, and then it just stalled out there. So far we still have this stuff here. we still have the, just one sec here. We still have the moving averages here. This is head and shoulders. This head and shoulders is still active, and we can see that the QQ, the DIA needs to clear this moving averages and then come here. If DIA can clear 466 and close above it, then it invalidates the head and shoulders pattern, right? But if it can't, then it's going to be a problem. Like it's going to be an issue. So far, the DIA is what I call my leading indicator when it comes to bearishness. So depending on how it plays out, we shall see if it can go up from here. But that will depend on what the other markets are doing, like in terms of the Nasdaq and things. So if Nasdaq is going up, it will also kind of lift DIA, because Nvidia is also listed in the DIA. Okay, all right. So let's look at these other ones. Let me just checking out something here with this. Let's look at these other ones here. So with DIA, what happens is that even if it comes here, it still has these trend lines to deal with, right? It still has these trend lines to deal with, and it's going to really meet, like, it's going to be like a key resistance where it's going to struggle, right, when it comes there. But right now, the main thing that it needs to do is that for the bulls, for DIA, need to do is that they need to make sure that they push this up to this area and clear this 467. Once they're able to do that, then we are going to push up to the upside. Okay, right. So for DIA, it's just they need to find a way to get rid of this head and shoulders, invalidate it to push it up. Okay, all right. So let's look at the next one. So if you look at this, look at DIA, look at this head and shoulders. Okay, and the interesting part is that you have this 467 as an area where the level matches. It's like it comes to the dot, right? So what I'm looking at is that if price comes here and clears this, then it means that the bulls will have momentum to go. But their job is not going to be done until they clear this highs here, which is going to be the all-time highs. Okay, yeah. So we shall see how the earnings come in, and then based on that, we can figure out the next move up. Just checking something here. Having some technical issues. Just one sec. I'll be back. Just one sec. All right. There you go. Okay, so I have this. So we have this head and shoulders pattern here, which needs to be invalidated. Otherwise, we are going to go down with DIA. Okay, next one is IWM. So IWM is the small caps ETF, right? And if you look at this small caps ETF, you're going to see that there's something interesting happening here. If you look at this, if you look at trend lines, look at this from I have a trend line here that you can connect from here, this April lows. You have a trend line that you can connect here from April lows to this area here. You see that this is like a perfect trend line, right? So if you connect this trend line And if we connect this trend line here, you're going to see that price came here, held this, held that, and held this trend line. Okay. So what I'm seeing for IWM is that I see IWM bouncing from here and then pushing up. I see IWM bouncing from here and then pushing up from this area here. So I believe that once the general market is going up, it will carry IWM with it, because IWM is where you have the small cap ETF. And then with the small caps ETF, usually they tend to move with the general market, because the general market, like SPY and QQQ, are the main guys moving the market, right? So if they are moving, these stocks, this IWM ETF is also going to move as well. Okay, so here I'm looking to go long here on IWM, as long as we don't break below this trend line and this 50 SMA on the daily, this red line. If we break below it, then trouble. Then we are going to go down. Otherwise, we are going to push up, and I believe we are going to get to new all-time highs. And also, there's going to be there's going to be FOMC, Fed decision on rate cuts coming up. That one is coming up. That one will be coming up. The Fed rate decision will be coming up next week. So there's going to be an FOMC where Chairman Powell and the Fed are going to cut another interest rate, right? So if they cut interest rate again next week, then it's going to help IWM push up as well, because IWM, the stocks that are listed there, are interest rate sensitive. And then once they cut interest rates, these stocks and the whole index or ETF also rallies. So I believe that it's setting up for that rally. So we are going to get that pre-anticipatory run before the interest rate decision is made. Okay. All right. So that is IWM. So with IWM, because of that, we are going to see that there's going to be, if IWM is rallying, the small caps that are listed there are also going to rally. It's going to help them to rally as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go to Bitcoin and see what's happening there with Bitcoin and things. Let's look at Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin? So here. So why is Bitcoin going up today? It's simply due to technicals. Okay. So here I'm going to go to the Bitcoin charts quickly here. Let's do this one. Okay. So I have here, this is the Bitcoin chart. So when I was going through my analysis, I realized something interesting about Bitcoin here. Something interesting about Bitcoin that I saw on the chart. Okay, so here we have, it's 2021. Okay, perfect. So here, if you connect a trend line, right? This is the highs of 2017. Okay, you connect the trend line, you take a trend line tool, connect the trend line from 2017, touches the high of 2021. Okay, you stretch it out. Where does it come to? Boom, it comes to the highs of 2025. Right, the highs of 2025. This is 2017, 2021 highs, the highs of 2025, right? So this is what I call the mother of all trend lines. Okay, and you do not break mother of all trend lines just like that, because this one touch, two touch, 3, 4, 5, right? So the more you touch a trend line, it's like a wall, right? The more you hit it, the weaker it becomes. So Bitcoin has struggled to break this on several occasions. And what we see here is that with Bitcoin, we are seeing that anytime price came here, like in 2017, if I take my measurement tool, let's see if I can find it. Okay. So if I take my measurement tool here, so from the highs to the lows, okay, was what? If you look left, you are going to see that it was 87% sell-off, okay? In 2021, what do we get? Is the same tool, 2021. What do we get to the lows here, which is here, this part here, or somewhere here, sorry. It's from here to, from where the trend line is to here is 83%. And move it just a little bit because it just needs to move. Just here, right here. Okay. So you get something like close to 80%. 80%. So average you can say is 80%. So this trend line has been very important, right? As a anybody that is investing in Bitcoin or a trader, you have to know this trend line, right? Because this is the mother of all trend lines. Anytime Bitcoin came here in 2019, it sold up by 87%. In 2021, it sold off by 80%. Okay, and then what did he do here as well? Like, you know, over here, what did he do? He sold off. And we can see here, if you look at this pattern recognition here, you see that every single time Bitcoin has come to this 50 SMA on the weekly, it has bounced. It has bounced, right? So what I was looking for is that if Bitcoin comes close to this, we are going to get a bounce, okay? And so far, we are getting a bounce so far. If you look at, if you go to the daily, you are going to see that Bitcoin is bouncing, right? It's bouncing on the daily. And it's also holding the 200. So this is the 200 SMA, and it's holding this 200 SMA. So as long as Bitcoin can hold this 200 SMA, we can look to push up and then reverse, right? And over here, you can see that the last time we broke the 200 SMA, Bitcoin, it broke it and came down by a few percentage points. It could do that, but eventually I believe that is going to reverse from there, okay? And if you look at, let me go to another chart here if I can pull this up. Let's see, what is the other Bitcoin chart I have here? Bitcoin chart I have here, which is the, no, this is not what I was looking for. So BTC all-time chart, this one. If you look at the BTC all-time chart, you can see that we are holding, like price came here, and we are holding this, okay? And then one other thing I saw on Bitcoin charts when I was doing my analysis was this. Hopefully I can get this to work. Okay. Okay, all right. So over here, you can see that. So if I get my parallel channel to this one, basically what I do is I connect this lows, right? This August lows, right? I connect August lows to this lows here. This is what I get. Right, this is what I get here. See this? Boom, right? And when I leave it this way, this is what I get. Oops, top this. Messed up. Just 1 second. Let me try it again. So here we have this. This is what it is, and then you can. So you see one touch here on August 4th, 2024, September. This one here, it came and kissed it. And then here we have what? March 12th, 2025. And then here, okay? And then once you stretch this, you are going to get something like this, right? This is the highs, pointing to the highs, okay? So this is what you get. So right now for Bitcoin, what I'm looking at is that we have a multi-factor confirmation of a possible bounce. You have this parallel channel, and then you have the 200 SMA where price can bounce and go. So if price, loses this and pushes down, I'll still be looking at, okay, I'll still give it some kind of room. So here, if you look at this, the last time price came here, let me take my measurement too. You see from this, the 200 SMA. What's the measurement too? Then let's see if it can work. I can't get it to work here. Okay, so here, we pick it from here to here. Price measurement too. So here, let's see. It's not working. Let's see here. Yeah, so basically what I'm looking at is that because this range from here to here, I'm going to look at that as a place where if you want to go long, you can use that as your stop loss, because price pierced this last time. And if it pierces again, it might just come to that same area and then bounce from there. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. So if you see Bitcoin green, that's the reason why Bitcoin is green, because it's respecting this parallel channel and it's bouncing from there. Okay, so with that in mind, we are going to look at checking out certain Bitcoin related stocks or ETFs to trade them with that if Bitcoin is going to reverse from there. Let's check out Ethereum. Let's check out Ethereum and see. Ethereum 2 is up today. So Ethereum has so far been respecting this parallel channel, and it looks to reverse. It's reversing so far. As long as we are not breaking below this parallel channel, then we have room to push up, and we are going to push up to the high. So it was at 4,084, but it came back down here to 3,900, right? So it still has room to push. So if Ethereum pushes up, then I believe it's going to come to this area, 4,001 something, and then from there it's going to go to 4,300 and try to touch the resistance here. Once it breaks through it, it's going to make new all-time highs. Okay, so it's not out of the woods yet. I think that it still has room to go, as long as we don't break below this bottom support level of the parallel channel. Okay, all right, so now let's look at the individual stocks. Now that we know that Bitcoin is reversing, let's look at stocks that can potentially reverse as well in this. Like, let's look at stocks that can potentially reverse. One of them that I'm going to be looking at is Coinbase. That's a crypto stock, Coinbase. So let's look at Coinbase. Let me go to my chart here. So with Coinbase, you can see that I have this trend line on my chart here that has held, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as long as this trend line holds, we are going to get a bounce on Coinbase. Okay, and with Bitcoin rallying, we are going to get that push upside for Coinbase. And Coinbase, what Coinbase needs to do is that Coinbase needs to clear this moving averages congestion. And when it does that, it's going to blast through and go. Okay, so Coinbase is going to be one of my main key watches this week if Bitcoin continues its push to the upside. Another crypto and AI related stock is Irene. It's crazy how Irene has run so great, because it's unbelievable, because this is a stock that last year we're trading this stock somewhere, like it was trading like below, it was like a $10 stock or something. And all of a sudden, this stock started saying they were doing some AI stuff. And then with the whole crypto boom, their stock is just rallying like crazy, right? The stock is just rallying like crazy. So you can see here, we came all the way here. You see that anytime price came here, it held this 20. So what I'm seeing with Irene is that with Bitcoin trying to recover, Irene is one of the strongest crypto-related stocks in the market right now, because it's trading at the 9 EMA. And if Irene is able to hold this 53 level, we can push. And once we clear 63.39, Irene will go back to all-time highs and make new all-time highs. So Irene has a nice setup, easy setup, whereby once it clears this 63.39, it's going to push up to the upside. Okay, so All right. So before the next one, I forgot to talk about gold. Okay. So gold is interesting because gold has been rallying nonstop. It's going nonstop. So it's like, where is this thing going? Where is gold going? Where is it going? So let's look at it because I've gotten DMs asking about gold. Okay. So I did analysis on gold. First of all, I go to the monthly time frame. I discovered something very interesting on gold charts. So if you look at gold, right, this is 1980s high. So this trend line here I have is a 45-year trend line here from 1980 to 2025. That was 2025 October. That was last week's candle. Okay. So this is, I put in the monthly to make it easier to see. So here, if gold is able to blast through above this mother of all trend lines, then gold is going to go higher. But I believe that gold is ready for a pullback, right? So the pullback that I want from gold is for gold to come all the way down to 3,500, right? If you can come to 3,500, that will be fantastic, right? So I want gold to come to 3,500, and then once it comes there, I'll look to load up and then buy gold over there, right? But we shall see if it can even come there, because the way gold is rallying these days, it's scary, right? So if you look at this, we can see that if we look at this here, we can see gold is looking pretty strong. And if gold can come all the way down here, come back to this red line area, 3,500, then that's going to be a good place to add to gold and ride it up and make new all-time highs, right? I believe that gold cycle is not done yet. I think gold can even go to 5,000, 7,000, or even something higher than that, right? But gold is really strong, and with these two trend lines. So here, the reason why I say price is going to come here is that because price is going to come to, this was where the breakout started, right? So gold consolidated. If you go to the weekly time frame, you are going to see the consolidation. You see the consolidation here. Gold consolidated for some time, and then boom, it just took off. Okay, so I needed to come back down here. So that's natural movement of stocks, ETFs, commodities, etc. Right? Once they break out from an area, it comes back to what I call retrace to the scene of the crime. Right? So my downside for gold is for it to pull back to 3,500, and then that'll be a good area to enter in and then rally to the upside, right? That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so that is gold, and then that's how I'm looking at it. So for me, I am short gold, right? I'm short gold. I put my stop here at the highs above this mother of all trend lines. Like if it stops me out, it stops me out, right? But I like the trade, because if it works out, it's going to work out really nicely, and I'll capture a 500 points or more move to the downside. Okay, that's what I'm looking at for gold. Then let's go to silver. How's silver doing? Silver is looking. So let me go to the monthly time frame, and let's move this around to see where silver is at. Oops, take this out. Silver is looking interesting on the monthly time frame. So over here, if you look at silver has been, running hot, right? Silver has been running hot. It's just going, right? So what happened to silver is that silver came in and broke above this mother of all trend line. This is from 1980 as well. So I believe the same time gold peaked, silver also peaked as well. And then we got this rally and breakout. But right now we're seeing that silver is looking to reverse, right? So this reversal is going to bring silver back to where the breakout started. It's going to bring it back here, and it's coming here. So we bring it back here, and then possibly it's going to bounce, and then it's going to take off from there, right? That's why I see silver coming. Okay. All right. So now that we know how silver is going, you can trade this using the ETFs. You can use the ETF. So here I have GLD for gold. That's the ETF for gold. So over here you can see that gold rallied like that, and then what did he pull back, right? He pulled back on Friday. We shall see if it can continue this pullback, or is it going to just take off from there? We shall see, right? So for me, I am short GLD. My stop loss is here at 402. If price comes and daily candle closes above here, I'll be out. I'll take a loss from that. But I like the trade because I see here there's a lot of gaps to be filled. If I can get it to at least 380, that should be more than enough. And anything more than that is going to be the cherry on the cake. Okay. And then here we have SLV, which is the ETF for silver. You can see that this is going down right here. So I shorted this on Friday. I took some profits. I'm still holding some runners, and I'm going to hold it to the downside. And if you look at this, if you look at the weekly, you can see we have a top and tail candle. So my stop is here. My stop is anything that breaks above. If it breaks above this highs, then I'll come out of the trade. So $50, anything above $50 close, I'll come out of the trade, and then I'll look to reset later. Okay, so that's how I see. Because this is a top and tail candle, and this is really wide and extended. I expect price to pull back, and we are going to get one of those red days where it's going to be red, and you get a big move to the downside. Okay, all right. So that's for silver. Next one that I'm checking in terms of tickers, like individual tickers for stocks, is Microsoft. Not traded Microsoft in a long time. Microsoft. So Microsoft is has been also weak, like it is signing off, but I think it's finally looking to reverse here. And with Microsoft, what I'm seeing is that we have this. So if we look at this, there's this trend line here. I believe this is going to connect. Let's look at this closely here. Connect this trend line from here to here. We have something like this, and then we have this connecting here. So this is like a zone, right? Because you can also have something from here connecting this way, right? That's a zone, right? A zone. So yeah, connecting this like that. So that's a zone. If we've come to the zone, like a demand zone, and then we have the 100 SMA. So if Microsoft is ready to reverse, and so far it's looking, once it breaks above these moving averages, it's going to go and take off, right? So as long as it doesn't break below the 100 SMA, Microsoft has room to push up. Now that we are coming to earnings season, I believe that is going to push up, and then it's going to go to, at least it's going to come here. Here, right? So in the short term, I expect Microsoft to come there and then push up. Okay. Next one is that then Netflix is having earnings this week. So let's look at it. Let's look at Netflix earnings. So Netflix has, after that all-time highs, is one of the mega cap stocks that went to all-time highs first after the Liberation Day sell-off. Since that time, it's been just trading somewhere and going down. So right now, what I'm seeing for Netflix is that if you go to the weekly, you can see that Netflix is putting in what looks like a bear flag. So this is your flag pole, and this is your flag, right? If we break below it, then we are going to go down to the 50. This is the weekly time frame, right? We shall see how that plays out, but this could also be consolidation to break out to the upside if the earnings is good. So if I put back the lines, we can see that this is trying to push up, and I believe that if the earnings is good, we are going to blast through. We are going to go and go back to all-time highs. But if the earnings is bad, we are going to break below this trend line and we are going to come down. I believe that Netflix can come as low as $1,000. or 1,050 at some point. Okay, if the earnings is bad. So right now, this is based on earnings. If earnings is good, then it's going to push up. Then the next one that has earnings this week is Tesla. With Tesla, if you look at it, if you go to the monthly time frame of Tesla, and let's see here, monthly time frame of Tesla, if you're able to, let's not see what I'm looking for. Okay, so Tesla is looking like it's been consolidating here, looking to blast through. If Tesla reports good earnings on Wednesday, I believe that Tesla is going to push above this 443, and then it's going to push up to new all-time highs, and possibly it's going to get to all-time highs and possibly get to 500 if the earnings is good. If the earnings is bad, then it's going to come down here, come and fill this gap, and come and test the 50. So it's just, so earnings, nobody knows what's going to happen. We have to wait for the earnings results to come out before we will know what's next. Okay. All right. So next ticker is NVIDIA. So with NVIDIA, what I'm looking at is that NVIDIA needs to find a way to break above this trend line here. If NVIDIA is able to break above this trend line, it is going to, so this is the April trend line. If it's able to break above here, then it's going to push in inside. It needs to get inside this wedge pattern, right? It needs to get inside it, and then it's going to blast through and push up, right? But so far, it's holding the 50 so far. We shall see how it plays out tomorrow. So this is setting up for a big push. It can push up tomorrow if it's able to gather this trend to break above this underbelly trend line. Okay. Next one is PANW, Palo Alto Network, right? So with Palo Alto Network, what I'm looking at here is that I see, let me go to this other chart here, PANW. So PNW, I'm seeing, oops, go to the daily. So Palo Alto Network, I'm seeing a parallel channel here. Okay. So you see that this parallel channel has been respected. Price came here, bounced, it pushed up, held the 50% range, went up and held back, right? Now we are back at the base of the parallel, right? If we're able to hold this and push up, then we are going to break and go, right? And then once we break and get to the top of the parallel channel, then price needs to, the bulls want to find a way to break out of this trend line, right? This upsloping trend line. So this PNW looks ready to go, and it could take off as early as tomorrow if it's able to clear this highs. 208, if it's able to break 208, it's going to go, and it could get to 217 in the days and weeks ahead here. Okay, but I like this parallel channel here. With this, it goes from, you see this, connect this to, boom, see that, connect this, one touch, two touch, three, boom, it's done, parallel channel. Then here you have this here, you can connect this as well. Then you have your channel. So it's just two trend lines that forms the channel. Okay, like this one. There you have it. So this line, the upper one, the resistance one, is parallel to the support one that forms a parallel channel. Okay, so you see that price has been respecting it, and this area here is the 50% level. This area here, this part, this area is the 50% level when it held the 20 SMA. So if we can break above this 209, 208, like this zone from 208 to 2010, 210, then it's going to take off, right? It's going to take off and break out. So this one stocks that I'm watching for tomorrow, and we'll see how that plays out. So if you are going long on this, as long as we are not breaking below this parallel channel, below this level, this candle, 200, below 200, then you should be able to hold this and run it. 201, 200, this should go. Okay. because over here you can see that we have this 201, like this low, that low, double bottom, triple bottom, quadruple bottom, like many bottoms, right? It has many bottoms, right? Yeah. So this is a strong level. So 201 is a very strong level. So typically I mark them as a thick line, right? It's a strong level where this can bounce and push. So Palo Alto Network is a very A+ setup for tomorrow and this week. And if it gaps up, if he's able to clear this 210 level, it's off to the races. It's going to be gone, right? Next one I have is HIMS and HERS. HIMS and HERS. HIMS and HERS is a stock that we've traded successfully in the swing trading service. And one thing that it does is that it follows a certain pattern. So over here, we see that HIMS and HERS has come to this area here, this 200 and bounced. It's now here. If HIMS and HERS is unable to hold this 49.50, it's going to head to 200 again. That's where I'm going to be a buyer, right? I'm going to be a buyer again because on several occasions it has held that 200 SMA area, and I believe that it's going to do the same thing this time around. So we shall see how that plays out. But as long as it does not break below this, if it breaks below it, then we are going to come to the 200. Okay. And this kind of candles, this means that we still have the fact that this closed below this means that we could still have more downside to this. It might come all the way here to 45.40. All right. Next one I have is Oklo. So Oklo is been running hot. It's been going nonstop. Okay. So it pushed up and then it's back here to this trend line area. And I believe that if it can hold on to this and not break below this trend line, it's going to push up to all-time highs again. So Oklo is a stock that has been running really hot and has been at all-time high. This is a stock that is in the nuclear sector, nuclear energy sector, and they don't even have any revenue. They've not even made money before, right? And these guys, the valuation is just sky high, right? This went as high as $194, and this still has room to push up. If the market continues to rally and it's got its strength, it might go to even 200 and beyond. Okay, so Oklo is a very strong stock that is looking to push up really high. Okay, yeah. So Oklo is a stock that I'm looking at to get if the market is strong this week. Okay, right. So yeah. So these are the main tickets that I have. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Any questions on any of these, or if you have any tickets that you want to discuss, let me know, and then I'll be happy to show you what those are, right? So let me know if you have any tickets. You have any questions? Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to type your questions in the chat. And let's see here. Let's see here. Somebody say Acha. This one sec. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Someone say Acha. So Acha is ACAR. So this one, it couldn't like it's supposed to was breaking out, but I couldn't get the job done. So it's now here at the 20. So it needs to find a way to hold the 20. If it's able to hold the 20, then it can reverse and go up. But if it fails, but there's a lot of moving averages support here. You have the 100, you have the 50, you have the 200. So if Acha is able to, if it holds here, then it can push up from here and push up. But if it goes down, it's going to come to this 100 area and then hold because it's protected by these moving averages and reverse, right? But in terms of let's go to the weekly and see what's happening here. So this is a failed breakout. Okay, the thing about failed breakouts is that sometimes it's just the reversal is just very devastating, right? So it was about to take off, and then it couldn't get a job done. So you got this long selling pressure candle, right? So if you have a long wick to the top, it means selling pressure. There's a lot of selling pressure on it. So we have to see if it's able to hold these lows, right? If it doesn't break below this low. So if it breaks below this low, this $11 level, then we are going to head lower. If it holds it, which is it holds this area, the 20, which I think is going to do, because here I have one bottom, two bottoms here. If we can hold it, then we can push up. We shall see how that plays out in the days and weeks ahead here. But yeah, it's still, yeah, I think that it could bounce this week. And then with the IWM, if IWM also goes up, it's going to help stocks like Archer to go up as well. Okay. Okay. Oh, did I share my screen? Sorry. Oh, sorry. This stuff. Let me share my screen. Let's do this. Stop sharing. Let's share my screen again. Okay. Are you seeing my screen now? If you see my screen, put one in the chat. Let me know if you're seeing my screen. Let me check out this thing here. Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here you have Archer here, right? So if you look at Archer, you can see that it has come here. So if you look at the weekly, you had this. You wanted to break out. You wanted to break out above this $14.63, but I couldn't get a job done. So they pushed it all the way down. That was on Friday. Right? On Friday, it wanted to really go, but it couldn't get a job done. There was a lot of selling pressure, and it settled for a red topping tail candle. So now what it needs to do is that it needs to find a way to hold this $11 level. This $11 level needs to hold it. If it holds this $11 level, then it's going to reverse and push up and at least hold the 20, right? It holds the 20, it's going to hold and push up, right? But if it doesn't, then it's going to go down. If it comes down, then the next area is going to be the 100 SMA. And then we see if it can get a bounce there, right? But otherwise, I think that it's looking to reverse here this week, as long as it doesn't break below this $11 level and IWM goes up. Okay. Yeah. So let me know if you have any other questions. And for those of you that are joining us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, because I will see that 50% of the folks that watch the channel are not subscribed yet. So please subscribe to the channel, and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so that anytime I go live or I post something, any educational videos, I post a lot of educational videos throughout the week. And those are things that will help you understand technical analysis, right? So at Trading Rich, what we focus on the most is technicals, the charts, right? We focus on the charts, and then once you understand the charts, you can see the moves before they happen, right? It gives us 80% probability, puts the probabilities in our favor, okay? So if you can join our free community here, you go to tradingrich.com, you go to our free community, you click here, join our free community. We have lots of educational resources there, master classes on options, futures, every single thing is there, right? So you can join the free community, okay? And also we have a number of services that we offer. We have the weekly swing trading service. So this is a very high win rate service. Our win rate is we have a 90% win rate for this service here. So if you click on it, you come here, I'll post the link in the chat. Over here, you see this. This is the This is the weekly alert service. Click on it. So right here, if you are busy 9 to 5 worker and you want to make money weekly from the market, this is a service for you. So over here, every single week on Sundays, I provide a short video of my top 3 tickers of the week. Those tickers, I don't discuss those on YouTube because that's for paid members. So here, what it is that this is my top 3 tickets. I give you the trade plan, everything, the option to buy, every single thing is discussed in there. And then what happens is that once I take the trade with my money, I let it. Right, I let it. You get a real time, instant messaging, SMS or WhatsApp message. You get it, and then what you need to do is that you need to execute. Right, so I let you know. So I give you the video, and then once I give you the video, you know what it is already, what tickets we are talking about. So once I alert it, you are not surprised because those are the tickets that we discussed in the video. And once you get it, what you need to do is that you need to just execute, right? Because I give you the price, the stop loss, and the profit targets, right? And when I take profit as well, I let you know that, okay, I'm taking profit here. And then you can also take profit as well. If I'm holding runners, I'll let you know I'm holding runners. If I stop out, I'll let you know I stop out, right? So this service here is only $47 a month. And if you want the yearly package, it's $470 USD. Okay. Yeah. So that's about it. And then if you also want to, so I'll put the link here and I'll show you the other service that we have. I'll put the link in the chat here. This is the link. This is the swing trading service. And then we are going to go to the other service, which is the day trading service. So if you want to trade with me live every single day, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, trade options and futures, this is the service for you. This is for day traders, right? Those that want to make money on a daily basis, this is the service for you. So over here, I trade with traders. We start at 8:45 a.m. Eastern, and then we start trading futures. Then we do the game plan for options, and we trade options once the market opens. So this is a service where if you want to sharpen your day trading skills or you want to be a consistently profitable day trader, this is a service for you, right? And members of this service are on a green streak, right? They are green almost every day, right? And then those that are in the swing trading service as well, they are members that are part of both. So you can make money on a weekly basis using the swing service, which is more needs patience. You buy, you hold it for a couple of days, allow it to play out. And then those that want to make money on a daily basis, what they do is that they sign up for this, which is a day trading service. Okay, 97 USD per month and 970 per year. You get 2 months free if you sign up for the yearly package. Right. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll put the day trading stuff here, and then I'm going to wrap up. I know that it's late in the Eastern time zone, so I just want to be mindful of that. And yeah, so those that trade with me live, we are going to trade live tomorrow morning, and we are going to look at these trades, whichever one sets up. We take them, we make money from it, and then that'll be it. Yeah. So let me know if you guys have any questions, or any other thing that you want to discuss. Any questions? So what did you learn today from the charts? Like, do you have anything to learn? And what did you learn? And let me know if there's any questions. Okay, so it looks like everybody is good. So if there are no questions, we shall wrap up now. So thank you for tuning in. We shall meet again next weekend for the weekly game plan, and we'll trade it accordingly and look at the top tickets that we have, the game plan, and we are going to execute once they work out for those that are part of our day trading service and also the string trading service. Okay. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye. Bye for now.